Where you go? Oh, you're right here. Yay. You're not too far. Okay. Welcome in YouTube. Welcome in TikTok. TikTok miss us. Because I keep talking on TikTok. Welcome in YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. And all of our lovelies who followed us over from TikTok. Welcome to tonight's show, the Crystaline Mars Show. I am your co-host, Mrs. Duuble Jones. I am the lady with the stones, the come here's and the leave us alone. And I am rocking one of our stones today, one of our necklaces today. Y'all, I made me some earrings. Y'all know I had made my canes. What did I came up with I came up with something else, another name for these after the live from when I showed y'all the first time, but I can't remember. Damn, chopsticks. I don't know. But I had created me some more earrings. I was doing a custom order. I was fulfilling a custom order today. And I was trying to remake the golden healer earrings, but they ended up being entirely too long. And I was like, ooh. So these sound like these are for me. So I had created these earrings here. The ones in the back. I'm trying to move the chopsticks out the way. They kind of intertwined. But around my neck, I am wearing the force field. I'm wearing the force field charm necklace today. I was gonna put a necklace on, and we got some double link chains en route. So I'm super excited because I'm definitely gonna rewrap my personal necklaces, and we're gonna have some fire charm necklaces in stock as I'll be creating them. So y'all head over to the website if this piece resonates with you, if she speaks out to you. This force field piece is great for protection, for grounding, clarity, cleansing, prosperity, money, helping you face your adversity and your fears and challenges and things like that as well. So also the stone of the day, y'all check that out. I did post that bracelet last night that I showed y'all, and her name is Clearly Connected. Clearly Connected, I was about to say Mystique. Hey, Mystique, where you at, baby? Mystique ain't coming to the building yet. She about to come now, watch. But our Clearly Connected wand, Melanated, has snatched that up. And when I was naming the bracelet from last night, I felt inspired to name her Clearly Connected, the charm bracelet style, though. So she is on sale for 20% off for the next 48 hours. So thank y'all to all of you who have been placing your orders, as well as putting your custom orders, y'all. If y'all see anything on the website that is out of stock that you'd love to have recreated for you, feel free to DM me. Feel free to DM me. I do recreate pieces. It just will not look exactly, or depending on what you're talking about, but it won't look exactly like it does on the website. But yeah, crystallinemars.com. You'll get your free shipping for all U.S. orders over $75. To our lovelies, welcome to our new lovelies who have been joining us on Instagram, our most recent followers. Be sure to connect with us on YouTube, where I post daily exclusive content. So meet us over there. Meet us on all platforms. At Crystaline Mars is our handle, okay? So we're going to go ahead and don't forget to send your love offerings in for March 1st merchandise raffle. The information is down below, and it's just $5 per entry. So we're going to go ahead and get into the message of the day, all right? And the message of the day is inspired by Valentine's Day, right? Some of you may celebrate Valentine's Day. Some of you may not. That's okay. But nonetheless, I invite you to just sit with the message. And the message is to evolve your perception of love. Evolve your perception of love. All right. And it's also like another question. It kind of goes into the daily energy. So let's go ahead and get into the daily energy for 2/14/2025. So we have this day is a 7-day, which represents the endings, the closings of a cycle here. And it's Love Day. It's Venus Day. Peace, Jasmine. Did you get your necklace, your cat's eye? But yeah, so we definitely have this theme of love here, not just because it's the 14th, but also because it's Friday. It's Friday, which is that Venus energy, like I said. So I channeled Evolve Your Love Language. All right, and that kind of goes in with the message of the day that I was just talking about. Regardless if you are in a relationship, regardless if this is about platonic and or romantic relationships, Spirit's calling for us to definitely just zoom out and see how we can be loved in the circumstances that we are in the relationships that we are in, and not be so fixated on I. You know what I mean? It's more so accepting what is, and that's not saying, be desireless and don't express your desires or needs, but it's just an invitation for you to really just reflect on how the universe is showing up, how this love is here, even if it may not be in the way you need it, even though it may not be in the way you desire it right now. How can you be appreciative of the love that you do receive? And how can you compensate, right? We talked about the overcompensation last night for the spiritual lesson, but how can you compensate and fill in those gaps that you may feel from the external? You know what I mean? How can you love on yourself beyond your traditional self-care, self-love, whatever that was for you in the past? Again, evolve that. So what do you need from you now, today, in this season? You know what I mean? And so that was the message. That was the message. What did I think I channeled that message of the day, because that's not the message I wrote. The message of the day that I wrote is ask for clarity, and clarity you will receive. And this can have to do around your relationships and how you feel the connection or the lack thereof. And it is important that when we approach these conversations, that we approach them with an open mind. Approach these conversations with an open mind. And when you ask questions to actually understand. Listen to what the person's actually saying. And it's often that we do this without even thinking about it, but sometimes we'll ask questions, and while the person is talking, we're just literally, you may unconsciously do this, but you're literally just waiting for them to stop just so you can continue. So you can say, I know, but, and then go down whatever path you want to go down. But if you do actually enter these, allow yourself to be vulnerable first off, and like we talked about the other day, make those I statements. First start off with identifying or articulating like what really is the problem, what really is going on with you, right? Don't make it about, well, you didn't do this, or you make me feel this way, or you said this. Like, first be clear about what it is that you're feeling, what it is that you're struggling with, what it is that you're trying to process, and just be very clear. It's given, like, what I'm seeing right now is I'm seeing a paper, and I don't forgot the damn format of the papers, but isn't it the not the theses, because the theses is set your intentions essentially. I'm seeing like the first paragraph where, in the first paragraph, that's pretty much giving you talk about what you're going to be talking about. You explain briefly what this paper is going to be about. So it's more so like prefacing something, letting them know like, this is where I'm going, this is what I'm thinking, this is what I'm feeling, and I'd like to know your perspective. I'd like to know some insight, and just listen again. And remember that, yes, you can have that back and forth conversation, but allow yourself to digest some things too, right? Remember we was talking about on one of these lives, the blast or the show or something like that, but we was talking about digesting the food, right? Digest the food, the intro, Ashe, thank you. But yeah, digest it, and then we can come back to it. You know what I mean? And so ask for clarity, and clarity will be received. Ask for truth, and truth will be received. Okay? And the truth may hurt, but ultimately it can heal as well. It can help you evolve as well. All right? So on this day, on the 14th, it's going to be like definitely a good day for you to really just reflect on how you, like, your relationship with love itself. Reflect on your relationship with love itself, and is it a healthy relationship? Is it a non-healthy relationship? What is spirit calling for you to embrace, right? Rather it's the space that you have by yourself. Some of you may be in a relationship, but there's some kind of distance. Maybe they work a lot. Maybe y'all work different hours. Maybe it's literally a long distance relationship. They may be in the military or whatever, and so you may have like a certain amount of time, a lot of time with yourself, and Spirit's asking you, like, how can you show up for you? How can you show up for you without necessarily projecting your own personal insecurities and lacks onto your partner? Like, don't make it about them. And also reflect on your expectations that you have of people. You know, what are you expecting of people? Are you expecting for a person to show up that in a way that is not in alignment with their personality or in alignment with who they are? Or are you now expecting for them to just change who they are? They've never done these things. They've never been this kind of person, but you're like secretly holding them to that, or you're secretly waiting that they transform into this person. And Spirit's like, you know, evolve that again and again. You can communicate with this person some desires or whatever, but it's ultimately like Spirit's calling for us to really reflect, like, how can I accept the people around me for who they are, even if it's your mother, right? Your mother, your father, your colleague, your sibling, your children. How can I accept them without trying to change them? And how can I make myself, how can I be an inspiration to these people to be loved? You know what I mean? And I am not talking about overcompensation. I am not talking about begging and pleading and doing the most to be loved, but pretty much how can you be that love that you wish to see, right? How can you embody that? All right, so that's pretty much the theme of today, to really just like reflect on love itself beyond the current relationship and perspective that you have. Okay, so that is the daily energy for the most part. And like I said, communication, this could be some conversation that I had because it is the 14th and it adds up to 5, which is that Mercury energy, inviting conversation. And being that the moon is in Virgo, this will be a great time to really have some grounded, peaceful, level-headed conversations about some things. So if you do have something that you've been like, just because some of you have been thinking these things with this Mercury energy, and you've maybe been planning with this Virgo moon energy, like been planning for certain conversations or just waiting for the right time, the time is now. The time is now to definitely put it on the table. And I do see it being very successful, and it's going to definitely bring some clarity to the table if you are open. Okay, so the rituals, if any of y'all wanted to connect with any rituals, I would definitely recommend y'all book a Love Me Unconditionally and a Heal the Past ritual on crystallinemars.com. The crystals for the day are rose quartz, jade, super 7, and lepidolite. And the colors for the day are lavender, red, and white. I was trying to stay away from the traditional red and white colors, but based off the energy, I felt led to do that because with that 7, that Pisces energy, because the 14th is a 7-day. So with that 7, that's Pisces energy, and I just saw like the purity, the cleansing, and so that brought in that white. And then the 14, that adds up to 5, which represents Mercury, and I was just connecting that to like the Papa Legba energy, and I just saw the color red, and I was like, okay. But then I got the lavender also from like that 7 Pisces crown chakra energy. So those are the colors for the day. You can also sprinkle some blue in there if you'd like a pastel blue if you're feeling fancy, but those are the colors. So lavender, red, and white. Y'all go ahead and spam the comments with your hearts. Sharts. Not sharts. Ugh! Not the sharts, bitch. I know I'm always trying to rhyme, and sometimes it don't align. Peace, y'all. You said Baltimore Postal Service playing games with my package. You didn't get it yet? Jasmine, you got your package? Okay, great. Because for some reason your tracking number was not showing me, and I wanted to make sure you got it. Instagram, where y'all at, babes? Y'all quiet. I see y'all in the comments chalking to each other. Why I can't talk? Today is my mom's birthday, said Masterpiece Empress. Happy birthday, merry birthday, Mama Empress. Peace, Guave, and all of you who have joined us. Who we got in the building? Who new here that I ain't say hey to? Hey, Wade, Elo, Goddess Tahira. All right, so let's see what we got, y'all. So I want to start with an angel number. If y'all would like a reading tonight on a live reading, you can do that. You can send your love offerings in. I can't talk. You can send your love offerings in through Cash App, PayPal, Apple Pay, and Zelle. Peace, new Nicole. Nicole said, hey, boo, I made it again. And you were describing me. Ashe. Welcome back, babe. Thanks for joining us. Nicole said, happy birthday, Mama Empress. But yes, y'all can send y'all love offerings and first come, first serve. But we're going to get into the collective right now. So I want y'all to take what resonates, leave what doesn't, move it around. But I want to start with the angel number. And I did not burn an incense, so hold on real quick. How y'all feeling though energetically? Like, what's your vibe like today or in this present moment? Because I know throughout the day it may shift or may not. But how are y'all though? Like, really? How are you for in this present moment? We're not gonna get too behind or too ahead. But how are you now? I really like to know. Peace, Miss Jackie. You feel loved, okay. Miss Lady J said you feel weird. Okay, like the energy just feels like a little wonky to you. Shout outs to Jasmine Lindsay for booking her in-depth birth chart reading. Why do I want to feel like I'm feeling full in the eyes as soon as I read that? Thank you, baby, and I cannot wait to connect with you. When did you set it for, Jasmine? I didn't see it. When you set it for? You're struggling to keep your head up? Okay. So, like, you've been feeling low. Okay, we got anxious. The energy is a little off. Okay. You feel sleepy. You've been emotional, really bland. Interesting. Okay. You said sick of my Aquarius and exhausted from full moon. Okay. I fasted most of the day and I feel I have my power back. Okay, great. Blaze said I am happy but sad. I'm leaving my babe to go home Saturday. Yeah, that's never fun. Melanita says, surprisingly, my day was great. I love that. Guave said very grateful too. Ashe. Cash App, yes, my Cash App is down below in the description box. It's just BU247. It's Saturday. Nice! Yay! Ashe, I look forward to connecting with you. Y'all book y'all services on CrystalineMars.com. Miss Jackie said happy birthday to your mom too over here, Masterpiece. We got 2 masterpieces in the building now. So I called our OG. Yeah, why y'all do me like that? Because I'm going to say I call our OG, but our other masterpiece is OG too. So I call Quamicia. I normally call you Quamicia. That's the other. She the OG. She was with us like longer. But I love you, Masterpiece too. I love you. You an OG too. But she's like the A1 day one. She been with us for like over a year. So yeah, Quamicia. I don't know if she's still in the building, but we got 2 masterpieces. All right, so we have 1212 here. And it reads, oh, happy day. An ample opportunity related to your life's purpose is just around the corner. Take immediate action once it pops up. Of course, a lovely partnership or an epic romance is also in the cards. 1212. I want to pull one more, though. Okay, but with this 1212, that adds up to 6. So that's bringing in that love, balance, embracing the duality, accepting the duality of all things, energy that we just kind of hit on. Ashe. You're a little sleepy, but you had a good day. Ashe. What we got? We have 6666. Great blessings. Nurture yourself, your needs, desires, and boundaries. Let go of things that are weighing you down. Make space for something meaningful and expand your spirit to all areas of your life. That big love, opportunity, or job needs to squeeze in somewhere. So Spirit's like, keep pushing here. So we have 666. We have a lot of 6s here because it's 1212 adds up to 6. So we have 66666. So that's 30. That's 3. That's expanding. That's expanding, opening your mind up to new. Okay. Let's see. Let's dig a little deeper. You're buying some flowers and candy tomorrow. Ashe. Way said chilling, can't really explain it. Was making art earlier and was just like, I'm not ready to rush it. You live in DC, you tell some Ray, R-E-Y. I remember my DC friends back in the day used to say that. Ray. Or the Maryland area, DMV, you know how y'all do. You feel nauseous since you talked to someone? Yikes. That sounds like you need to do a little Palo Santo cleanse. Let's see what we got here. We got Spend My Life With You playing in the background. Be more. Ashe. So we have limitless potential. Oh, limitless prosperity here. Limitless prosperity. I do want to read this card here, but this is what she looks like. Ashe TR, initials TR. I don't know how to pronounce your name, so I'm not going to butcher it. I got your love offering for a reading. Just let me know what kind of reading you would like. But let's see what we have. Card number 37. That number may be significant to somebody, but it reads, receive, 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 receive everything. Wealth, love, health, opportunities. Make way for new financial and career opportunities. It's reaping season. You should feel grounded and secure. Okay, so I know, a lot of us are feeling the waves. I just checked in to see how we're all feeling and things like that. But that is the beauty of knowing what energy, what zodiac sign the moon is in, because knowing what energy the moon is giving off, that's going to help you with identifying your own, your own emotions. And so to those of you who are feeling anxious and things like that at this time, not saying it is directly connected to, but look at the moon and see like, okay, what is Virgo energy about? How is that connected? How is my anxiety or how I'm feeling connected to that? Okay. And that's going to help you with understanding certain parts of yourself and then choosing how you want to use this energy for your wellness. But with the moon being in Virgo, ultimately that is bringing us stability nonetheless. That is bringing us stability. That is bringing us foresight. And it also brings us though, the need of things to look perfect, and just being like fixated on perfectionism and the details of things. And so it is some of y'all may be like, you may be more aware of certain things that may not make you feel good or that make you feel unstable or insecure in whatever way, shape, or form. And so look at the other side of that. But we keep having this reoccurring message of make way, because I just read that from the book. And then over here it says make way, make space for something meaningful and expand. Okay, so it may finally be time to welcome those delicious rewards you've been collecting in your energetic vortex. This is your time to shine. Embrace this fresh start with confidence and take practical steps to manifest your intentions, whether it be in the realm of finances, career, or health. Trust in your ability to create a rock-solid foundation for success and make the most of the fertile ground ahead. All right, so you may be feeling a bit sluggish. If you are lacking in motivation from time to time, that's natural. There are delays and setbacks in your path. Be wary of possible delays or blockages in the manifestation of money or new opportunities. And that is very much connected to Virgo energy, because Virgo energy is connected to our possessions, to the things that we connect to that makes us feel safe and secure and stable. More so like material things, matters of the house, money, how's your house set up and things like that. And so that's the thing too, cultivate, create a space that reflects you in a way that you want to be, in a way that you want to be, because your place may actually be a reflection of you. Our place is always a reflection of us. So what is your space showing you? Is there clutter? Are you hoarding things? Does your space feel empty? And it's not about you having everything on a wall or you having every corner filled, but what can you bring into your space to make you feel at home and at peace in the space that you're in? Whatever that is, right? It could be just a vase of flowers, whatever that may be. It could be some fresh bedding, you know what I mean? You don't have to go buy anything. It could be you just rearranging something. All right, so the declaration that I need all of us to leave in the comments is, I open my arms wide. Go ahead and start typing. I open my arms wide to all wealth flowing my way. We got a new one today, y'all. I don't think we ever said this one. I open my arms wide to all wealth flowing my way. I open my arms wide to all wealth flowing my way. And so it is, Ashe. All right. Somebody has like finger tattoos. I'm seeing on the outside, but also on the side of the finger. Cosmic said it is pronounced Tahir. Oh, Tahira. Oh, okay, Tahira, but you could call me T. I'd like a reading centered on my business plans. Thank you. Gotcha. Okay. Okay. All right, so we have radical truth here. So limitless prosperity, radical truth. This is giving like that tomorrow energy. This is giving that tomorrow energy because we have card number 43, which adds up to 7. Tomorrow is a 7-day. This white is connected to that energy I was tapping into with that purity here and the radical truth. So definitely there could be some truths, like I said, that you need to accept, or some questions that you need to ask that can bring some clarity around a certain situation. Okay. Bitch, why I look like I got a little captain hat on or something? Okay, so let's pull some OG. I'm feeling OG. Actually, no, I'm gonna pull from the love deck first. Baby, we can walk, move, girl. Maybe we can hang out, girl. Whatever you wanna do. Okay, we have loneliness here. I get so lonely. Can't let just anybody on. Okay, interesting. So definitely somebody, I'm getting like spirits like don't bend. Don't bend for somebody who definitely is like setting boundaries here, because some of you are like, I'm just not going to tolerate certain things. And so until, because remember I did channel like the love is in deeds, it's like you may have people or situations that have caused you to put a wall up. And so Spirit's not calling for us to just be a fool and just completely break down all the walls and just not believe who a person is showing us to be. But it's more so like, you got to show me. You telling me these things, but you got to show me. Like, the love is in deeds. Like, it sounds good, but like, I need to see it here. But some of y'all are definitely like, I'd rather be alone than be with somebody who I don't feel safe with, or who are not meeting my standards, or who's not equally yoked, or who's not respecting me, who does not honor me, who doesn't love me, who is not honest with me. But also with this loneliness, we got avoid isolating yourself and instead surround yourself with people whom you enjoy being around and who also enjoy being around you. So some of you may have been isolating yourself, you know, just for personal reasons, maybe personal healing, whatever. Maybe, you know, rejection has been a thing, so you had to be by yourself. But this is for the people who actually do have people who they can reach out to or could connect with, who you enjoy being around. Spirits like, you know, give them a call like we talked about yesterday. Like, reach out. And even if you don't have anybody in the physical to reach out to your spiritual team. Again, when we talked about accepting, like, are you accepting the love, or are you saying, oh, this isn't enough? I'm tired of the spiritual love. I'm tired of the spiritual hugs. Like, I'm tired. Because you could not have that. You remember those times where you were asleep? You remember those times when you were unconscious? When you really felt alone? When you didn't have your spiritual connection with your team? And you really felt like, bro, I'm by myself? It could be that. So are you going to be grateful for the access that you have to the spiritual realm? So you can at least feel that? Are you grateful for the access that you now have to yourself? You have the ability to love yourself, to give yourself what you need. Rather, it's the words of affirmation. right? The love languages, the acts of service. How can you show yourself that love? Have you even explored those ways? Or are you so busy complaining about what you haven't received? Reincarnated Jewel said, literally have been arguing with beings all month because of my boundaries. First of all, literally just want to change my number at this point. Why are you arguing? Stop arguing. Stop arguing. Sometimes silence is the best teacher, especially once you say what you said. It's like stand on it. Stand on it. You're literally wasting your energy. And you don't have to change your number either. You don't have to change your number. Because you'll find you change your number, but until you actually master the energy, isn't that one of our cards? Until you master the energy, it's going to show up again and again. It's going to show up through the next person. You'll be like, damn, I thought I got away, bitch. No, it's just energy. It's going to come in a new form. So, master it where you at. We got attract, not chase. So, then I talk about that. With that attraction, remember I talked about like that inspiration, that magnetism. So, there is a certain energy that you have to give off in order for you to receive. There is a certain energy that you must give off in order for you to receive a specific energy, I'll say. Because you'll always receive, but you're going to receive what you're putting out. All right, so attract, not chase. It's like, okay, what are you attracting? Because you may find yourself in a place where you're like, damn, I'm lonely and I feel like I'm chasing, or I don't want to chase. And it's like, okay, let's replace that chase with actual, actual magnetic, attractive energy so it can come in. Woo! All right, so we're going to go ahead and close out. What we're going to close out with? We're going to close out with Orisha Deck. And I'm going to get into lovely reading and we done. We're going to transition over to the spiritual lesson. This is my song. I Believe by, by Sounds of Blackness. Ashe. All right, so let's close out. All right, we got Olokun here with this all white again, right, with this cleansing, healing the past type energy. But Olokun, the ruler of the deep ocean, holds the sea's mysteries and immense wealth. Once he was enraged and tried to flood the earth, but the Orishas calmed him, teaching him balance and control. His guidance encourages you to seek depth within yourself, embrace your emotions, and explore the hidden riches of your soul. So Olokun here. So some of you may want to do some studies or just connect with this Orisha when it comes to understanding parts of you and embracing your emotions, or just, you know, even articulate and understanding certain emotions like we kind of talked about. So he's definitely somebody that's coming through like, hey, I can assist, you know, I can assist you with processing these things, understanding them, and navigating. And so that concludes our collective reading, y'all. I'm about to go ahead and do Tahira's career business plan reading. And if y'all want any further information or, you know, any further readings, y'all can always book on CrystalineMars.com. And Tahira, I'm not sure if you're new here, if you know how we do, but to everyone who sends in love offerings for readings or spiritual clearings with Brother Logas, every $5 that you send in enters your name into our spiritual service raffle on the 1st of every month. So March 1st, we will be conducting a merchandise raffle where you get the chance to win any merchandise off our website. Those are not based off the service offerings. But if you send in us an offering for a live reading, that will enter your name into the service raffle where you get the chance to win 50% off of any of our services on CrystalineMars.com. So your name will be entered 3 times for every 15, essentially. He said, bro, the way the guy in the back matches the card, he always comes in with that divine energy. Last time I was channeling that energy for one of our lovelies, because I was like, you could wear a lot of, I was like, I would recommend wearing all white Or you could do all black, but I was like, I lean more into the white. And then as soon as I said that, he came in with his all white. You said right when he came out, you said right when he came out, then the guy in the white card comes out. Shame. So we have the Knight of Swords here for you, baby boo. Tahira, compounding the message for sure. And Logas, he does have a lot of like Cancer in his chart, that water energy. So that was definitely in alignment because Olokun is connected to the water. So you have the Six of Wands. You have the insurance here. Okay. We have audit. We have pet health here. This pet health be blowing me. I'm taking that out. Okay, we good. We got unexpected money. We got prison here. All right, so pretty much when it comes to your business that I'm picking up, I definitely, Spirit's like, take your time. No need to rush into anything. I do see it being successful, though, if you do, like, allow for it to slowly, gradually grow. And when I say slowly, I don't literally mean like slow, but just don't try to rush it. Like, be patient, but just always bring value and always pour into it. But I do see it being very successful and getting a lot of recognition here. Insurance. So Spirit's calling for you to maybe even consider like a LLC or some kind of like coverage, or maybe even like financial, like just start putting some money to the side, you know, for future investments that needs to be made here. We have keep receipts and accurate financial records. So yeah, it does feel like just kind of go ahead and start doing your research when it comes to how much is going to need to be invested, and just like slow build. Like, you don't have to have everything. You don't have to start off with everything. You can start with one product, two products, or one service, two service, and then as you master those things, or as your resources expand and things like that, then you can add more. So give something time here. But we do have unexpected money, and we have prison. All right, this is card number 27, 29. Those numbers are kind of sticking out to me. So this could be something that comes through over the next 27 to 29 days, over the next month cycle. But with this unexpected money in prison, this does feel like there is going to be a lot of financial potential here for you to like gain that can like help you get out of this financial little space that you're in now. But again, I'm hearing every dollar matters. So just be very, very strategic with when you spend it, how you spend it, and how much you spend. And this is not just around money, but energy as well. Okay, so that's what I got for you, baby boo. And that concludes our tarot tea time and all those good things for tonight. Thank y'all for sharing this space. And we're now going to go ahead and transition over to the spiritual lesson. All right, we got Karma playing in the background too, so I shade to that. Let's go ahead and transition over. Oh yeah, that was for a lovely. You good, brown skin. All right. Of course, babe. Thank you. All right. It's on you, boo.
Peace, family.
Grace.
Today's spiritual lesson is on the broken, cracked, split soul. Right? I had mentioned this maybe like a week ago, I think, and I was talking about there's a show called The Blood of Zeus, an animated series dealing with the Greek gods and titans. And there's, on the very first episode, they give you a very, in my opinion, a very accurate depiction on what trauma does to the soul. What trauma does to the soul, and when you don't take the time to heal it or to transition properly, right? So when you look at it, it explains how the Greek gods, Zeus, the Olympians, how they fought their predecessors, the Titans. And they defeated all the Titans. it didn't really say where those where those souls went. I would assume that they went back to a higher realm, right? A fifth dimensional, sixth dimensional, seventh dimensional realm, to go through their healing process before they come back into the third dimensional. Now, the last Titan that they defeated, that one didn't want to let go. It didn't want to let go. It couldn't accept the fact that they were defeated. So when it died, it actually it split itself. And I guess it was a male Titan, so he split himself into giants, what they call giants, and there were 10 giants, right? Now all 10 giants were him. They were him. But because he didn't go through the proper healing process, and he was holding on, and his heart chakra essentially was too heavy, he split himself. But see, he didn't split himself in a way like, if you think about, sometimes you'll see depictions of Dracula, and when Dracula sometimes will turn into a multitude of bats, might be like 1,000 or 10,000 bats flying around, all representing Dracula, the one being, but he's all these bats, right? So his soul, Dracula's soul, when he turns into all these bats, is illuminating through each bat, right? But because he is connected, he is aware of himself within each bat. They all work together. They're all in perfect unison because they all recognize that they are him. Now, when it came to the Titans, when he passed away, his vessel died, and he reincarnated. But when he reincarnated in a traumatic state, in a trauma state. So his soul ended up splitting itself. It wasn't a one soul projecting itself. He didn't project himself into 10 beings. He split himself into 10 beings. Why was that a problem? Because then, as they were fighting the Olympians, the 10 giants versus the Olympians, now there was a struggle. And the way that the way that Zeus was able to overcome the Titans was that he convinced 2 of the giants to betray the rest of the giants. Now, I remember I was watching this. I was telling my son, like, what's weird about him convincing 2 of the giants? We came to the understanding that the 2 giants that betrayed the other giants was the Titan betraying himself, because he is all 10 giants. But because his soul had been traumatized, and so it caused it to split into 10 smaller souls, he forgot who he was. Therefore, they had no memory of who they originally were. They believe that they're just these 10 separate beings, but really they're all one being. This is what we are experiencing right now, and what we've been experiencing for quite a long time. This is why the population has grown to such extravagant, levels. It's because, just think about the last few thousand years. How many wars have happened? How many campaigns have happened across this planet? And no matter how many people Genghis Khan has killed, no matter how many Napoleon has killed, no matter how many Hannibal has killed, no matter how many Ramesses or any of the pharaohs have killed, no matter how many were killed in World War I, World War II, no matter how many indigenous people are killed, no matter how many whoever is killed, for some reason the population keeps growing, doesn't it? Exponentially. And that is because of our souls are splitting faster and faster and faster. They're splitting faster and faster. Or I should say not splitting faster and faster, but they're splitting now. They've been splitting for some time. So when they split and we come back, instead of being the one soul body, now you have 3. Then those 3 die, and now you have 20, and now you have 50, and they just keep splitting, right? So this is why I said, I've said before on this show that you have this body, but you actually have other physical bodies on this planet that are connected to the same soul that this body that's watching this channel right now is connected to. So you can have 5, 10 other bodies right now living on Earth. I don't know how many each of us have, but I know we have multiples, right? Now I didn't know why we have multiples, but it took me a while to eventually I figured out why. It's because of the traumas in our souls have kept splitting. Our souls have kept splitting, right? So, and just because you die doesn't mean that you have to split every time that you die, right? But there were, if you go, a lot of indigenous groups, this is where all of the ceremonies of death come from, which was to help through that transition so that you wouldn't have to, so it wouldn't have to split, right? But if you as above, so below. So where do we see this, and how can we like really confirm this? We've seen it in the show, the Blood of Zeus. Where can we see it in real life though? We can see it in our own cells, right? If you understand the science of your cells are not, they say like every, I don't know, couple years you're a new person because your cells replace themselves, right? They split and turn to new cells and the old ones die. This is true, but it's also, there's a lie in everything, right? So yes, it's true that our cells keep splitting and replacing themselves. It's a lie that that's supposed to happen. Just like it's a lie that, yes, women go through menstrual cycles every 28 days or so. It's a lie that that's supposed to happen. That's not how it's supposed to happen. Are women supposed to go through a cycle? Yes. With the moon? Yes. Are they supposed to go through what we call a menstrual cycle? No. Right? That is a result of trauma, of sickness, of genetic disease, and generational traumas and splitting of the souls and things of that nature, and stress and all those type of things, and toxicities and unhealthy bodies, all these type of things. So our cells are not supposed to be splitting. You're actually, a cell only splits, only copies itself when it's about to die. Okay? So the reason why we are aging, because we're not really supposed to be aging, the reason why we are aging is because each generation of cells, when another one is cloned, it's going to be a lower, it's going to be in a sense a lower version than the one before. And then when it copies itself, it's going to be a lower version, and it keeps getting lower, right? So it keeps getting lower, right? It keeps becoming, it's a weaker version than the one before. And then that's why you see aging, because the cell that's being copied is becoming weaker and weaker and weaker. Because the cells are being born out of death, not out of life. See, the first liver cells, the first heart cells, the first muscle cells, the first skin cells, those are all born out of life. The ones that come and replace those cells, those are born out of death. So therefore you are dying, right? The idea is that when you are truly healthy, your cells don't need to copy themselves. You can maintain the original self, right? So, and what ends up happening? What ends up happening, we see it more and more in America, is that eventually you start developing something called cancer. And cancer, or even, or the other one, autoimmune disease, which are pretty much, to me, the same thing, just dealing with different cells. But essentially, either the both are either attacking the body or they're destroying the body in some type of way. We'll just say it that way. Cancer, autoimmune, your own cells are destroying the body. Why are they destroying the body? The same reason why the two giants betrayed the other 8 giants. Why are you destroying yourself? Because you forgot who you are. You're so traumatized that you've forgotten who you are. So you start fighting yourself, not realizing it's yourself. That's what's happening. That's what happens in the body. That's what happened to ourselves spiritually. And then we don't even, that's what's happened to ourselves spiritually. And then when you go beyond, even beyond that, that's the same concept though with all the Olympians. Technically, all the Olympians come from a soul. Even all the Titans before they died, they all were one they were one of something else, called maybe a primordial, you might say, right? This is the whole concept that we are all one. We are all one. See, when you remember the oneness, you're not going to fight against yourself. When you know that that's yourself, you're not going to fight against yourself. Right? When you know that the person next to you is self, the person, your friend is self, your mother is self, everyone is self, then you're not going to want to war with self. At the same time, understand, if the body has cancer, the cancer cells have forgotten that they are self. The other cells in the body have not forgotten. But it doesn't mean that they still have to get rid of the cancer cells now. They still have to do something with the cancer cells. Like, unfortunately, you have forgotten that you're self, so we're going to have to get rid of you, right? And try to reabsorb or somehow maybe, I don't know what the cells do on a spiritual level, but I'm sure they try to carry out that cellular energy to try to recycle it back into the oneness once again, right? But when it becomes too much for the body to handle, it just creates a splitting of those souls. Because remember, each cell has a nucleus. That's a mini soul. That's a microscopic soul. So this is why I speak about how whether you go through heartbreak, someone passes away, even say losing like an important sports game, getting fired from a job. There's so many different, getting injured. There's so many traumatic experiences. That we need to actively heal from. Not just wait for father time or mother time to try to, hopefully like he just kind of heals on his own. No, the body does not just heal over time just by itself or without doing anything. The body has to actively go and heal the thing. It's like we need to go actively heal ourselves. And we need to heal ourselves not just from the traumas that we experience in this lifetime, but we still have lingering traumas from many not just 1 or 2 or 3 lifetimes or generations. We're not even talking about family curses and generations. No, even though that's a thing too. We're talking about we've been on this, in this matrix for a very long time. So we're talking about tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands and maybe even more of lifetimes that we have experienced. And we need to heal through all of those. We need to heal through all of those, right? And you do that by finding and putting back together the pieces of your soul, right? And like a part of that concept is like when you do past life regressions. That's you going back to see a piece of your soul and what it went through, or a point of when your soul went through something and where a split happened, right? But we have to go beyond that. We have to actually go find the splits. We have to go through guided meditations to not only for, and you know what, I'm gonna have Duüblé. She needs to add that to her services, which is guided meditations to help put people's souls back together. Because that's actually what really needs to be done. Is help guide you, not just to go through a past life, not just to break social contracts, no, to put yourself back together. Go find your pieces of your soul.
Remember.
And then not only find them, but then find them in this current time. Find them in the past time. Just find. I mean, and it's a really a lot, but with the ones that you can visually and mentally find, she can help you to do that. It's not a hard thing for her to do. I just have to give her the direction. I just gave it to her. Now she can help you to do it now, right? And she'll do that to help pull, so you can recognize these different versions of yourself, and then start to absorb it back into the one self, into the one soul being. So then she would also need to, which will be in my. I finished writing the guided meditation for the soul healing. I have to now record it. That's the next level that I'm doing now, right? And when I give that to her to listen to, and she can go through that process, she'll have an even greater understanding, and then she'll be able to help you to an even greater level, right? Because there's and it's in the guided meditation, so she'll know exactly what I'm talking about when she goes through it. But there's a point where you have to first connect to in a sense, your oversoul, or the biggest chunk of your soul. So imagine that, you have, let's say that this is your soul, right? This is your soul, and then over the lifetimes, it splits. Actually, I won't even say this is your soul. Let's say something bigger. Let's say this board is your soul. This whole board is your soul, right? That's how big your soul is. And then I want to have this thing right here. And then over all the, thousands of lifetimes, your soul ends up splitting into, these hundreds of pieces, of fractals, right? And these fractals are emanating through different bodies throughout the earth, right? And let's say that this is let's say there's 100 of these, right? So let's say, your soul has split into 100 pieces. But what I want you to understand is that though it's split into those 100 small pieces, this was its original size. Its new size is going to be like this pillow. So let's say it's half the size. So the original oversoul is still huge, right? But a certain percentage of it has been broken off into those smaller pieces. So though you'll go and find all the smaller pieces, it only does you so much good. So all these spiritual contracts that you're breaking, understand those are all just fractals of your actual soul. Those are all small pieces of your actual soul. Your actual soul is way bigger than all of them, because those are just little pieces that got chipped off through different traumas. This is the soul part. This is what you got to go find. And then when you find this, you can then go find the smaller pieces to put it back, to bring it back to its original core soul energy, back to your core, until it comes back to this normal size. And that's how you get your full power. Because then at this point, when you've fully put it back together, or at least, I don't know if you have to fully, but at least you have to put at least a majority of it back together, a nice chunk of it back together, then you'll be able at the same time, you do have to prepare the body and the vessel to be able to handle this energy as well. So you do have to do a multitudes of healing. You have to heal physically, as well as spiritual at the same time in order for it to work. Otherwise, your body won't be able to handle the energy. Understand that. You also need to strengthen the body, through exercise, physical exercise, as well as spiritual exercises. Right? We'll talk about the spiritual exercise another time. One of those being chakra rotations. That's one of those, right? So the idea is to put your soul back together again, because then we put your soul back together, and the body is prepared to handle that energy as well. Because putting it back together, and again, doesn't mean that your body's going to combust or something. That's not what's going to happen. But putting your soul back together is the beginning, and then you can start to really, and then when you want to activate that, you still have to activate that soul, though. You still have to then pull that energy through the body, right? That's the part when your body has to be strong enough. But as far as just the healing part of the soul, right, you have to put it back together, because when you put it back together, then you can, then you'll be able to tap into your seventh dimensional consciousness. What does that look like? That looks like Avatar, the cartoon. When he goes into the Avatar state, that's kind of like what that looks like, right? And when he goes into the Avatar state, his body goes into what? A fifth dimensional physical state. Right? Because the seventh dimensional is beyond physical. Fifth dimensional is like this quasi hyper physical / spiritual type state, right? So you want to bring in your soul, which is on a whole nother dimensional plane ultimately. But your soul, when fully healed, will allow you to pull in that seventh dimensional consciousness and allow your body to vibrate at a fifth dimensional quasi physical / spiritual state. Ashe. So that is today's spiritual lesson. Now we'll go into the Q&A or into spiritual clearings. Ashe.
Ashe. Do you need this spray? It's been over here.
Lately I haven't.
Oh, okay.
Apparently working out. What happened to the other board? The big one.
Oh, it's in lay room. I just moved it out the way. You want me to bring it in?
I don't know.
Okay.
Is it too big?
No, not necessarily. We could play with it tomorrow.
It is kind of there's a circular bottom, so it'll be hard to put it in.
Yeah, I'll be able to tuck it under space under there. All right, y'all. So I'll see y'all in the comments.
You wouldn't tuck the same way, because it's like it's rounded. See how this is got all this space in it?
Yeah.
You just like hover it over.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. That corner in the way.
So then we'd have to move the camera some more. At the moment I really don't need it. I use it for something else. Peace, family. Peace over to the Facebook family. Peace over to the OGs on IG, and peace over to those on YouTube. We appreciate your likes, shares, and subscribes, as well as your super chats. Let's see what they say. Cosmic Earth Priestess. So starting off with the heat, Ashe. Soul retrieval, yes. Yes, yeah, peace to graffiti. Let's see, peace to Umi. So I'll replay this lesson back, says Honey Ivy, Ashe. Let's see, Honey Ivy loved this lesson. Let's see,
Yeah, Britt did ask a question. I don't know if you saw it.
Britt asked the question.
Yeah, she asked about the menstrual. It was fairly new.
Britt says, my past life have always been the same being. Your past lives have always been the same being, Ashe. Ashe to that. I wonder what you mean by always been the same being. Like you always did this life right here, or like, what do you mean? Or you feel like you've always like this look basically the same, just in a different era? Is that what you mean? How should women's cycle go? No blood? Well, yeah, essentially, yes, women should not be bleeding, right? They should be going through not a menstrual cycle, a chemical cycle, yes, hormonal cycles and stuff, that makes sense because you're, moving with the planet, with the universe, with the cosmic, right? Menstrual cycles is a indication of sickness because one, there's two reasons why you're menstruating. One is because of the egg that was trying to get impregnated, right? If you've noticed, I don't know if you noticed, but every animal on this planet has a season for procreating, for mating, has a season. We don't seem to have any seasons. We just out here willy-nilly just doing whatever, right? And that doesn't make sense, right? Because everything moves in seasons, right? So it means we have lost, connections to the season. All right. Now there are some reasons for that. And me personally, I believe it's because we are because we are half earthling and half extraterrestrial or interterrestrial or whatever. That's why our seasons are not really linked up the way that we would like them to be, right? So that's one reason why we shouldn't really be, as a woman should not be just dropping off an egg every month. That doesn't make any real sense, right? One of those reasons why women are doing that, as far as the egg is concerned, is not only because the seasons are off, but it's because of the interaction with so many men that causes that as well. So many pheromones being given off and stimulations, right? Over sexualized, these type of things. And then the other part, as far as like the blood, so much blood being spilled, that's just just the toxicity. There's just so much toxicity. When you are the uterus wall just being shed, well, you're getting rid of old cells, right? And I told you earlier that if you get rid of old cells, you have to replace those cells, and we're not supposed to be replacing cells so regularly like that, which means that every batch of cells becomes weaker and weaker and weaker, right? So you should be going through a cycle, but it wouldn't be like a menstrual. You shouldn't be going through a menstrual like necessarily having stuff being pushed out of you like that type cycle. But you would just go through just like a hormonal cycles, hormonal rebalancing and things like that with the planet and with the moon. That's the only real cycle you should be going through. But we are where we are at the moment. All right. This is why I've met women who are young too. Would be 20, 21, 22, who don't have cycle, who have maybe a cycle once or twice a year. And I thought, okay, well, maybe this is how they have their cycles, right? But then I would notice, though, if they got into a relationship with a certain type of man that they really felt like in love with, that they really were into, that they really, all of a sudden, they would just have a cycle now. Right? sometimes they can go like maybe a couple years without any cycles, and then all of a sudden they meet a man that they're really in love with. Boom, they just have a cycle the next month after they just met this guy a couple weeks ago, right? And that's what really started opening my eyes on that concept and on this journey of like, wait a minute, how do these cycles things really work? And you know, what I came to to realize that there's like this. There's a lot to go into. I want to see what else you guys have to say before I continue. Graffiti says, would you be willing to share a little of your soul recovery prayer for meditation purpose sake? Okay, so it's a very long prayer. It's not a short one. It's like when I know when I finish recording it, it's going to be like at least a minimum 2 hours. I think it's going to be around 3 or 4 hours long. So, what I would say is that part of this soul recovery is okay, so inside of us, inside of everyone, there's a chamber. There's a chamber. And in this chamber, you're going to have, it's like, imagine if any of you seen the movie, The Dark Knight Rises, the Batman movie with Bane. Remember that pit that they were all in, that Bane came from, that pit, that jail pit that he comes from. Like, it's like, you can think of something like that, right? At the bottom of it, there's a bunch of cells. Now, like, jail cells. In those jail cells are all the splits of your soul, right? There's going to be, we'll just say at least, definitely hundreds, if not thousands, right? But then there's still a main one, and that's at the bottom. That's at the very bottom, and it's behind the biggest locked doors. And that is where your source soul matrix, your main soul, resides. And the idea is to, find the chamber in the meditation, go down to the bottom, you start there, and find a way to get through those doors. And then there's going to be someone, at least one being, or maybe some guards. It depends. You might have a lot of guards in your way. It depends on who you are and how open you are, or how traumatized you are, things like that, right? But once you find your way in, though, then the idea is to then you'll find your soul, and your soul will be chained up in some type of way. And then the idea is you got to find a way to get your soul out of there, or to free your soul. You got to free your soul. Once you free the soul, then the idea is to, connect to all those little small fragments within the cage and put those all back into your soul. Ashe. That's a big portion of what needs to be done. Now, there's other parts of your soul. There's other big fragments. See, you have the biggest fragment, then you have these small fragments. And then there's like these other fragments that are in between big and small, these medium-sized fragments. And those size fragments, those don't exist in the chamber. Those actually exist in the universe, we'll just say, right? In the universe, but they're all within self, though. They're within the universe of self, we'll say it that way. right? And they can be in different chakras and in different aspects of self, and then you want to also find those, but those can come later. The easiest ones to I don't know if it's the easiest one to find, but the ones I can tell you exactly where you need to go is to find that big chamber, right? And then you just gotta make your way in. Just gotta make your way in. Yeah. Now there's other parts to this as well, as far as like understanding your soul's journey through the past, through the birth of the earth and different parts of the universe and the creation of the universe. Those things are also part of that process as well. But it would take too long to sit here and try to explain all that. That part would just be in the meditation part. But the part that I could easily just tell you was the chamber, going into the chamber. Secret Fee says, bruh, a whole anime scene played in my head with that explanation. Shay, well, that's the point. That's the point of the anime. The anime is you trying to show you how to think about it. The anime is trying to show you how to think about it so that you can use the animes to your advantage. You should be thinking about, if you think about the whole spiritual realm in an anime way, it'll make it 10 times easier. 10 times easier to navigate through it. If you try to think of it and get stuck in trying to think of it in like a realist, in a just a regular, everyday, three-dimensional life experience way, you're going to be stuck. You're going to be stuck because you're not going to be able to accept anything of a higher frequency. The anime is trying to show you another way to look at it so that you can think in those higher frequencies, right? Because if in the fifth dimensional and seventh dimensional and these higher dimensional realities, fifth dimensional, sixth dimensional, whatever, if you can do anything, if you can, mold the universe, if you can bend matter and bend light and do all these different things and transform and shapeshift and all that, if you could do all those things, that's anime. That's anime. So you have to think in an anime way in order to even accept that side of yourself, accept that potentiality of yourself, right? So use whatever anime concept that works for you, all of them, some of them, one of them, whatever you got to do, allow that to be your guide on seeing it, right? The concept of the chamber I got from Naruto, the Nine Tails, right? The Nine Tails, we look at that, that's some thing that was locked inside of Naruto. No, that's the thing that was already in Naruto. Right, that's the thing that's already in Naruto. Naruto could not accept that Nine Tails energy if the energy wasn't already there. Essentially, the Nine Tails persona was put into Naruto, not the Nine Tails energy itself, just the persona, meaning his soul already has the energy. He already has that energy within self. You can't put a new permanent energy in somebody. You can, like, someone can borrow energy from somebody for a sec, but you can't put in new energy for permanently and keep it. You can't do that. No. They just gave the persona of the Nine Tails, the ego of the Nine Tails, into Naruto. But the energy that we're seeing as the Nine Tails is actually him. That's his actual soul. It just has the ego of the Nine Tails. Right? So that's the same concept. When you're going into that chamber, you're going to see what ego is your soul portraying at that time. Because since it's broken, it's going to have an ego that is portraying. Meaning it's going to have some sort of a of what it looks like. If you only see it as a ball of light, then you are seeing its purest form, but that's not the form that exists with you in this matrix, three-dimensional matrix. That's a form that exists on some whole another plane, but that's not the form that exists in this with you at this three-dimensional matrix. That's the form you need to see. Uncle Fee says, I'm going to definitely be looking sometime in the future, Ashe. Beloved says, I see the same person, white female, dark hair. Ashe. Ashe. Right. Okay. You keep seeing the same person. Well, then that means that that's we can just say that's definitely an aspect of your soul, right? That's an aspect of your soul. That's probably like a Lilith type energy, it seems like. But that's the aspect of your soul that you feel that you are most connected to at this moment. So no matter what past life you see, you keep seeing her. Because she wants to be seen. That's the aspect of you that wants to be seen right now. Now she might go by Lilith, she might go by a different name, right? Something that you would need to ask her. Right. But she's an aspect that needs to be seen. That means that's an aspect of you that you need to connect with, that you need to heal, that you need to become one with and absorb, right? So that you can, because then that'll allow you to see the other aspects of you. It's not that you were always you weren't always her in every past life, that you always were seen as her. No, but she's definitely putting herself in every memory. She's putting herself in every memory because that's the aspect of you that needs to be healed. So here you go, Duublé with that pen clicking. That's what it is. That's why I got she done hit me with the pen clicks. I was on the autoimmune and cancer of repairs. Ashe, Honey Ivy. Ashe to V unique and to you found the realist. Guavi says, have you ever discussed semen retention on here? What are your thoughts on it? Semen retention, it has its benefits, and then it also has its issues as well. From what I've gathered on one side, semen retention allows you to maintain your energy, right? But at the same time, from what I've gathered, semen retention also, since your body is always constantly, a man's body is always constantly creating new fluids. Those fluids then just they stay stagnant, but those fluids are supposed to be moving. They're supposed to be moving, supposed to be being released. So I have heard the concept that actually maintaining your semen over and absorbing it, long periods of time can also cause prostate cancer as well, from what I've heard. I don't think holding it for months at a time would do that, but maybe years at a time, possibly. Right, so it definitely seems to be pros and cons to it all. Seems to be pros and cons to it all, right? But I personally, I don't push that practice. I'll say that. I don't necessarily push that practice, right? But I think during certain spiritual exercises, or trials, it definitely makes it definitely makes sense to do semen retention though during certain like trials, you know, on certain points of your journey. It definitely makes sense. Honey Ivy says, oh, okay. This lesson is very helpful about the soul. Ashe, Honey Ivy. I'm glad it was helpful to you. Ashe to Brit. All right. Okay, so I don't see any other questions, comments, or concerns. I think this would be a good place to wrap it up. So we will say, let's see, Duublé's texting me. Let me see, make sure. Okay. Yeah, so let me say Ashe, Asante, and Amen. Ime Kamalika, it is done. And we will catch you tomorrow on Face-to-Face Fridays. Ashe. And you have a good night. Osika Mwema to you, to all of you. Be unique.